never date a man, even if he's single, that chooses to have friends with benefits. What's up, y'all? It's your girl NK. Don't mind these things trying to be in my business. It's your girl NK, and I'm back with another video. You already know It's your girl NK. I'm back again with another video, and y'all already know what this is. This is Lady Tales episode 2. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, what this series is about, how we're getting to this Lady Tales episode 2, go watch my last video talking about how this girl walked in on me in the sky. I'm going to jump straight into the video today, but before I do that, I'm actually going to be putting in my Aztec clay mask in my hair today, just because, y'all, I literally took out my hair like 2 weeks ago, I think, and I still haven't washed it. If y'all know what the Aztec clay mask look like, this is what it look like. And I'm using apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna put some on my face today actually too. And I'm using grapeseed oil, but I'm just gonna mix the apple cider in this first, then put it on my face, and then go with this, add this to it, then go with my hair. And hopefully at the end of this whole process, me getting this on, I can tell y'all the story. Anyway, let's get some ASMR. Explosive. So I'm actually gonna be kicking off the story time by backtracking a little bit from the last story. As y'all can tell, I had told the guy, I wasn't gonna hang out with him again until, he let me know what was up about him and that girl. Okay, y'all, so a quick interjection because I totally forgot about this part of the story. So that night when that situation had happened, I went to back to my dorm, and I was, telling my roommate and my friends what had happened. So later that night, let's just say hypothetically, in a dream, theoretically, we went to his apartment. So we pulled up, we turned off the lights, and we wanted to see if the girl was still there so we could kind of get a better idea on who she was. So that is where these clips are from. I think 2 days, maybe 3 days later, he reaches out to me. He was like, "Do you want to be my chaperone while I run some errands?" I said, "You don't need a chaperone. You're a grown man." If y'all know what I mean, I'm trying to stop cussing, but y'all know what word I'm trying to say. You're a grown man. You don't need a chaperone. He was like, "Duh, obviously I just want you to go with me so you can keep me company, this, that, and the third." So I was like, okay, cool. Could have just said that, but I see he was trying to be cute or whatever. Not cute. After he told me he wanted me to go with him and run errands or whatever, I had asked him specifically what he was doing. And he said he was paying for a court ticket. Yeah, just that he was paying for a court ticket. So I will tell y'all how he threw me for a loop when we actually started on our way to wherever. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. I'll go with you to pay a little ticket to the court. The agreement with me going with him was that he was going to tell me what had happened with the other girl and, why that whole situation had turned out the way it was. I get out of class, he comes to pick me up, and we get in the car, and we start driving and just talking, and this man is just cheesing. He's so happy that I agreed to hang out with him again. I didn't want to be too forward or too straight to the point yet, so we were just doing small talk, and we actually got to the court. As we're heading out of the court, and we're about to go to the car, he rushes over, kind of he wants to open my car door for me. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna let him open the car door. But before he opened the car door, he kind of blocked it and stood in front of it and was like, so I'm like, we had something to talk about, I don't want you to think that we finna be friendly, buddy, even though literally that's the impression I was given, because why would you agree to hang out with him again, girl? Okay, so I'm like, you trying to be all friendly and Google gaga and give me a hug, sir? We have something to talk about. He's like, okay, well, dang, I can't at least get a hug. These Men out here always trying to get a hug.
Real shit. Where my hug at?
Oh,
Let me get a
no,
hug.
you not
Real
getting
shit,
no
let
hug.
me get a hug.
Take your
I can't get a
ass
hug.
home somewhere.
Forget you then.
Damn, no.
Ugly ass.
And so I was like, I'm gonna give you a hug, but you know what I came here for. Don't get it twisted like we're not gonna talk about what we need to talk about. He's like, yeah, just give me a hug. We'll get in the car. Da 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 da. So I give him a little side hug, and he's like,
Damn, we in church.
y'all, I don't know what lesson number this is from The Last Lady Tells, but I think it's lesson number 4. Lesson number 4. Set your boundaries and keep your boundaries. Don't let nobody try to play you like you being too serious or you too full of yourself. Yes, a church hug. Who are you? Like, bro, give these men church hug. Moving on. So I gave him a little side hug, and he's like, you know, about it being a church hug, that I could give him a full hug, da 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 da. Anyways, I ended up giving him a full hug. Again, you know, I'm only giving these lady tell lessons because I've learned. But back then, your girl was out there with the buffoonery. So I give him a full hug, and we get into the car. When we get into the car, he tells me he wants to go to this place to buy AirPods. I assumed that the place was the mall nearby that had an Apple store in it. So I was like, okay. You know, he was like, I know I didn't tell you that we were also going to do this, but can I just do it because it's close by? So I was like, okay, you know, I'm not going to make you drive all the way back to our college town, you know, when you can just buy AirPods here. So we're in the car driving to the place where he's going to buy AirPods that I assumed was a mall. And he like reaches over and tries to grab my thigh, you know, do the whole car grabbing thigh thing. Immediately no. Y'all should have seen with the quickest and the flyest of African hands, bro. I slapped that man's hand away from me so quick. I said, okay, yeah, he really trying to play me like I'm Boo Boo the Fool. And this is what happens. Lesson number 5. When you disobey your own boundaries, men are going to push your buttons and test your limits, girl. So don't give any room for caca. Do you know what caca means? Like, y'all know what caca means. Don't give any room for caca, because if you do, you end up in the toilet. Like, that's just the truth. So he tries to reach my thigh. I swat him away, and I'm like, okay, see, now you're trying to play with me. You're trying to play on my intelligence. Like I'm one of these little desperate girls that's desperate for you to touch her little cookie meow. No, I am not. Don't ever get it twisted. So he like laughing, kikiing, just thinking I'm so funny, but I was so serious. So I just say out to him plainly. So I'm like, so what's up? Like, tell me what was going on between you and Miss Girl. This man has the audacity to say that, oh, me and her, oh, we just, this is exactly how he was talking. We know each other, or we are associated. We're friends. So I was like, like, bro, like, elaborate, like, what are you talking about? He like, we do stuff. So I'm like, y'all friends with benefits? He like, yeah. So I was like, okay. And he's laughing, kiki, friends with benefits. So I'm like, interesting. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, thanks for finally letting me know. Like, I feel like I had to pull it out of your chest. Like, and so he like, so yeah. But, you know, there's nothing, he was like, but there's nothing for you to, you know, worry about. So I'm like, me to worry about? You tell her she has nothing to worry about. I don't want you. Immediately, just like that. That's what I said. I don't want you. Like, he's like, what you mean, blah, blah, blah. She's not my girlfriend. You thought I wasn't having sex before I met you? So I'm like, whoa there, Steven. Ain't nobody say all that. Ain't nobody say all that. All I'm saying is it is my choice whether or not I continue to with you. And I'm not going to. Simple. So she does not have me to worry about. And you should let her know that she can continue screwing you on the low because I don't want you. And I feel bad for her because I walked in the room and she didn't even have a place where she could say something, where she could voice her opinion, because she has minimized herself to being your, como se dice, toy. Like, so that's just all I'm trying to say. So he like, oh, why you gotta be like that? You know, like, he's like, of course, if things got serious between me and you know, you wouldn't have nothing to worry about. So I was like, exactly my point. Things are never going to be serious between me and you, because regardless of if that had happened that day or not, I would never date a man, even if he's single, that chooses to have friends with benefits. That's not the type of man that I want, because that kind of shows just how he views women. And it's sorry, but a lot of women have brought themselves down to that level to be viewed like that. I don't ever want to be a man that's okay with that. I'm not okay with friends with benefits. That's why I can't have them. It's good for some people. It's good for you. I'm not even judging you for having it. But it's not for me. And so me and you will never be. Okay? Like, get that through your noggin. So he's just kind of laughing it off and, you know, kind of thinking that I'm joking. I'm not serious. Meanwhile, the whole time in my mind, I'm thinking about how once I get back to my door, I'm finna block this man. Like, I'm not finna talk to this man. Like, he ain't never met me before. You know, this, that, and the third. So finally, we get to a random hotel. So I'm like, wait, where are you buying the AirPods from? He's like, oh, I'm buying it from somewhere. From someone. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, I didn't know we were going to a random hotel. I thought you were buying it from the mall. So he's like, no, I'm buying it from someone. But, you know, we're already here at the hotel, so I'm gonna go up and buy it. So he gets out the car, goes up. Mind y'all, it's this shiesty hotel in this town that I don't even know what the name is, where I'm at. So what I do is I send, which is my roommate, I send her my location and I send her a picture of the hotel. Because I don't know if he's running upstairs to get the sex traffickers so they could come get me. So I'm over here panicking. And I'm just in the car like, oh my God, like, you know, I'm about to get trafficked. Like, some men gonna come out of somewhere, and I just head on swivel. Some men are gonna come out of somewhere and just take me. So I'm just panicking. And like 10 minutes later, he comes out and I'm like, oh, where's the AirPods? He said that there was an ATM inside that hotel that he had to get money out of. Where they do that at, I don't know. I don't know where they do that at, but somehow I found myself in this predicament. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, he's fine. So he's like, I actually need to get gas, and then we need to go to this other hotel because that's where the person I'm buying the AirPods from is actually at. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. So we drive to 7-Eleven, y'all. He pumping gas, boy. I'm on the low. I took his picture like this. Cheese. Like, cause I was like, bro, this is just too much is going on. Like, I just feel like something bad about to happen. I took his picture like this. I took a picture of the 7-Eleven and I sent it to my roommate. So he gets back in the car and we start driving to the other hotel. And this time I decide not to stay in the car. Because I'm like, at least if I'm going to get kidnapped, they ain't going to sneak up on me. Like, they not going to run up and I ain't going to be ready. Like, I'll be expecting it. So I decide to get out the car and then I'm going to go inside the hotel with him. So we go inside the hotel and we're waiting in there. And then like 2 minutes later, some lady with some like shiesty laptop bag comes in and she has, I guess, the AirPods that he was gonna buy. So I just kind of sit in the corner and he's talking to the lady, and he's supposed to be preparing to buy the AirPods. They're talking. And out of nowhere, I just hear him say, oh no, these are fake. So Y'all know that TikTok rat that's going around right now that's like, yeah. I was like, ooh. Ooh, because you know, it's like weird. Like when scammers come to scam you and you call them a scammer. Like, it's one thing when you just don't know. It's another thing when you know they're a scammer and you tell them they're a scammer. She's like, oh, well, the serial number is here. Da 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 da. He was like, nah. I can't buy these. These are fake. So she didn't even try to argue with him. She was like, okay, that's fine. Like, you know, it's whatever. So he comes back to me and he's like, let's go. The AirPods were fake. Da 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 da. So I'm walking with him out the hotel and we get into the car and we're supposed to be like heading back towards our college town now. But then he's like, oh, do you want to go out to eat? Y'all, I did not want to hang out with this man no more. I just wanted to get back where I was going safely. So I had to comply with everything. So I was like, oh, I would, but I got a meeting I got to be to, which I actually did because your girl tries to not to lie. I got a meeting I got to be to at a certain time. You know, I'm trying to get back before then. So he's like, oh, yeah, no problem. Like, I totally get it. You know, we can also just hang out another time. I'm driving back to town and he's just still kind of like talking about the situation between like me and him and the girl. And at this point, I'm just kind of like keying and laughing enough just for things not to be awkward. But if he didn't hear what I said clearly, don't worry, my actions are going to show you now. So he drops me off and he's like, all right, see you around. And I'm like, y'all, since that day, I ain't never hung out with that man again. I ain't never hung out with that man again. Because I was like, listen, bro. It's one thing for you to just be shysty and upfront about that. It's another thing for you to drive yourself into delusion and actually think that you doing something right or you doing good. And you're not. Like, that's just the truth. I didn't actually end up blocking him just because I realized that blocking is not a solution for me when it comes to my problems because I tend to unblock people. So I didn't actually end up blocking him. And he reaches out to me a couple more times, literally over like the next year and a half. And I just flaky every time. I didn't want to hang out with this man. I didn't want to. I had a great time at the roller skating. I love your boldness when it came to, you know, you approaching me. But other than that, we will never, ever be together. So yeah, that's the end of this Lady Tales. I didn't even get around to putting the mask in my hair, but I'm still gonna do it off camera. If y'all like this story, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below the part, just comment down below literally about any part. I'm replying to all comments. Follow me on all social medias. Make sure you subscribe, and until next time, deuces.